We're here with Mike Rudoy, the founder of BigLive.com, and he's today going to talk to us about Big Live, some questions we have for him for our very first iChat video on JWTintelligence.com. So welcome, Mike.
Thank you.
Where are you coming to us from?
Via Chicago.
Okay, very cool.
Hometown.
That's your home, right?
That's right.
Okay.
Although I live and work out of New York.
All right, well, we're going to ask you a few questions. First, we're going to start off with what's Big Live's elevator pitch?
The idea behind Big Live is essentially to connect users around a shared visual. In this case, video. Mm-hmm. The problem that we saw was that there were two forms of video online. It was linear, long-form content, and non-linear. Linear being something with a storyline or arc, and non-linear being something that didn't necessarily have that, and therefore was really difficult for users to pay attention, spend a long time. User engagement for non-linear content is very low. Mm-hmm. And so the idea of Big Live is to increase engagement around non-linear content. And we think we're doing that through our social features.
Mm-hmm. So I know that the site is up now in an initial format. So when will it fully launch?
Our full launch will happen later this summer, probably around August. We're going to be doing a lot of beta testing all throughout the summer. Collect as much data as possible, potentially iterate on the site a couple times, and then really launch the site in August or potentially early September.
Mm-hmm. So, and how will those social media features work on the site? And how do you think that bringing those social media features will present some kind of new business model for the music sector?
Sure. So for the first question, the way that video, we believe, is being socialized now is simply by slapping a chat box next to a piece of video. And the content that's going through that chat box is pretty irrelevant to users. It's sort of like the inner monologue of the users, and it's really not relational. Mm-hmm. And so what we're trying to do is add some relevancy for users. And here's how we're doing it. When you log into Big Live, we're essentially a social network built above a video distribution platform. And so when you log into Big Live, what we're trying to do is create a psychographic profile around a user. So you can verify with your Facebook, your Twitter. You can give us information that those networks don't necessarily have. Mm-hmm. This is all for the purpose of when you log into a video that's being broadcast, you can, number one, visually recognize everybody else that's watching. And number two, assuming you have 1,000 people watching a concurrent video, or concurrently around the same video, you want to understand who those people are. So we're allowing you to sort on that crowd. Show me everybody that went to Princeton, is 25 years old, and lives in New York City, and is a friend of my friend on Facebook. Mm-hmm. And so now I can find that one person who I think is relevant, have a conversation with them, and we think that that's compelling. Mm-hmm. And then secondly, really quick, is this idea of being able to follow people throughout our site through our Friends Online feature. And so what that does is that allows me to say, Christine Miranda is watching X video, with the ability for me to click X video and join you. Mm-hmm. And so if you scale that, what tends to happen is crowds begin to form around given videos just as they would at a music festival. Mm-hmm. So it's sort of crowd dynamics applied to video consumption.
And you're like virtually watching it together.
Right, and that's our whole differentiation. You go to somewhere like Hulu to watch what you want when you want. You go to Big Live to watch for the ability to join up with your friends and check out to see what they're doing.
Okay, very cool. And do you think that this will present, a viable business model?
Yeah, that's part of what we're going to be finding out this summer. Okay. We really believe through the beta testing that we've already done that people will engage around video depending on how the tool set is set up. Okay. And we believe that the way that we've actually structured the site, user engagement will go up, and therefore it'll be easier to monetize.
All right, so going from there, how do you plan to incorporate brands and advertising into your platform?
Well, what we're looking at primarily initially is doing a lot of branded content. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not simply throwing up a banner ad next to a video. While we will have interstitials, it's really about bringing the brand experience to Big Live. And so you can access a piece of video through the brand's site. You can access the same piece of video through Big Live. It'll arrive
Mm-hmm.
at the same destination. The whole idea is that we really want to allow brands to live within the experience, potentially jump into the chat room as if they were a brand ambassador, send a follow-up email assuming that a user has said that's okay on their preferences. But we really want that attachment and to create a more immersive experience for a brand as opposed to, a very passive experience that you see now.
Okay, very cool. And going back to the social media aspect, what makes Big Live different from all the other social media sites that are out there?
Well, I mean, our whole goal is
Mm-hmm.
to create the sort of cross-section of social networking and video consumption. What you now see is people toying with that idea of collaborative viewing, but we don't believe that anyone's really doing it that well.
Uh-huh.
What we really believe is the more information we can get around the user, the easier it will be for them to make connections with others. And number two, we're providing a number of different ways to access a piece of video. You can access it with someone. You can jump in on a show that's already been started by somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
You can all congregate around something that we've broadcast.
Mm-hmm.
And so this ability to treat media in various different ways and be able to communicate with people in various different ways is really important to us. And we see the people who are doing it now taking a very singular view of that.
Mm-hmm. So getting to the fun stuff of this, what's been your favorite live show this year or recently that you would like to see on Big Live?
Yeah, sure. So LCD Sound System, if you're listening, I went to 2 of your shows. No, I thought that was a fantastic show.
I saw your tweets about that.
Yeah, there you go. Really great show. Tonight, I'm actually going to MGMT in Chicago.
Very cool.
Little shout out to my cousin who's on tour with them.
Okay.
And yeah, so looking forward to that as well.
Very nice. And then we also love to ask our interviewees this one question: what's on your personal things to watch list? Because what we do a lot is write about things to watch, things that we should keep an eye on. So what's something that you're keeping an eye on in the year ahead?
Sure. Something that I've been personally using a lot that I think is a very useful tool is this company Venmo.
Mm-hmm.
It's the ability to basically text your friend dollars. I'm standing in line. I don't have cash at a cash-only pizza stand. My friend basically acts as my ATM, and I can send him $5.
Yep.
No cost to me, no cost to him, and it's a very useful tool. And then personally, there's another site coming out. I believe it soft launched last night called Art and Culture Editions.
Uh-huh.
I'm a big sort of art lover, and they're basically trying to democratize high-end art by offering photographic editions in smaller quantities, but also at affordable prices. So I'm looking forward to getting something on that site as well.
That sounds great. I should check that out. We should all check it out. All right, thanks so much, Mike. So that's it, and we can't wait to put this up on the blog, and thanks for talking to us, and say bye to JWT Intelligence fans.
Adios.
All right, bye, Mike. Take care.
Bye-bye.